I don't have a professional photo studio, but I wanted to see if the normal freelance and side hustle gear could recreate this professional and artistic photo portrait. This was the result I got. This portrait was inspired by a shot from Peter McKinnon, but instead of a studio, I only used the gear I actually own and use for real client work. Because as a freelancer, you don't always have access to perfect conditions. You have to make the gear you have and the space you have do the work. So I wanted to see if it was really possible to get a professional result like this. And this video shows exactly how I did it. So recently I was going through one of his videos and I noticed something. I noticed his thumbnail was quite special and I was like, nah, I've got to try this. So let's analyze his YouTube thumbnail and see how best we can replicate it. Okay, now let's go to YouTube. Right, so we are on his channel now and this is the thumbnail. Okay, so the most obvious thing is black and white. Great. The next obvious thing is that he's illuminated from the back, right? So it's kind of like a silhouette, but then they fill his face back with some light. Probably ambient lighting, probably another flash. So let's try. The first thing I'm going to do is to set up my flash to be behind me, and I'll take a couple of shots, and let's see how that goes. Now, so one of the most important things when you want to take a studio kind of shot is to kill all forms of ambient lighting. So I'm going to put all this light. Okay. Great. I have a video light that I'm using right now to record this video because I mean you cannot see me like this. So for now I'm going to keep on using the video light, but before the pictures I'm obviously going to turn it off. So the first thing is my first backlight. Alright, so this is the Godox V860II. Yeah, and I'm going to be controlling all the flashes I'll be using this trigger. This is the Godox X2T. If you are doing off-camera flash, you need this. The camera we are going to be using today is a Sony ZV-E10. I'll be using the Sigma 18-50. So I'll be in front of the flash right here, shoot me like that, and hopefully to achieve what we want. Alright, so my camera is set up now, and I think I'll be zooming in something like that. So if you can see, that is the flash there. Let me put the trigger right on top, right? So I can have control over my flashes. Right, so this is just my hall. This is my hall where we just sit down and relax and everything. And obviously it's not a professional studio, but we are going to attempt to achieve this. I believe you can actually use any space that is available to you to achieve great results. So let's try it out. There's one more thing. I'm going to connect my camera to my phone so that I can just stand here and regulate the camera, because it will be difficult to be going up and forth during that process. First trial. Okay, I'm getting some kind of backlighting, but I forgot to put off the video light. Now it's too bright now. I'm going to reduce the power of the flash. Let's take that again. Oh. Yeah, there's a problem with having everything so dark. That's my phone. Okay, I'm getting the silhouette, but I'm not liking how it's looking, you know? So on Peter's profile, if you look at this clearly, let's say the camera is looking at this side of my face, right? Some of the light bleeds to this part of his face. I'm realizing that having the light directly behind me is just giving me the edge. It's not covering my full edge. So I have an idea, is to add another light, another backlight. So one will be like from this angle, one will be from this angle. So that one will cover this side, then the other will cover this side, but then also bleed some of the light onto this side, this part of my face, right? So now let's add the second flash. This is exciting, man. Now, I know in this current age and with the influx of AI, within a couple of seconds, you can easily generate this. I just have to feed the AI with my picture and just prompt whatever, and we will get an amazing result. But where is the fun in that? One of the things that make photography an interesting art is the process. And I think I'm going to raise it up a bit so that it covers this side of my head. Both of these lights are going to be controlled by the trigger, just like I mentioned earlier. So one thing I'll be doing is I'm going to add this softbox, this graded softbox to one of the flashes so that it doesn't flash directly into the camera. Okay, so both of them are flashing. Can you see me? Okay, so I've got to put off this. This is a video light, the small rig video light, just to give the nice blue highlights in the background, but I need to put that off now. Let me also put off the video light. Okay. Right, so we are back and cameras have been switched now. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's take some shots. It's a bit too bright. Yeah, I like this. Now let's get the posing right. Okay, so now we have the edge light perfectly as I would like it. Now what we are going to do is to work on the fill lighting. Considering just using my video light, it's either that or I would have to set up another flash. So let's just mix it up to make things interesting. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love it. Just bring it a tiny bit closer. Now my video light is on 39%, so let's try that. Yeah, this looks good. I really like how this is turning out. This looks good. This looks good. So now I just have to work on my outfit so that I don't have too much post-processing to do. Alright, so in summary, we use 3 lights. We use flash number 1, flash number 2, and here I used the video light because my video light was already mounted. I could have swapped it for a flash and also regulated the settings, but because I'm also taking the video, that's like the behind the scenes, I wanted to have the video light so that I can have good exposure over here as well. So this is kind of like a hybrid lighting setup because I'm combining flashes and continuous light, and you can do that. I mean, it's part of the whole creative process. So I got this fancy idea just to switch up my photo a bit, and it's to use the smoke machine. Alright, so because we got pretty close to our target shot in the camera, the post-processing will not take a lot of time. It will just probably take some contrast adjustment and of course turning it to black and white and add some form of drama to the picture.
So in the post-process, I cropped to my desired dimensions, adjusted the contrast, that's just deepening the shadows and rolling off the highlights a bit, and just generally cleaning up the image using the healing brush. For the smoke shots, I did some Photoshop composites to get them to be a bit more dynamic. So, thank you so much once again for going with me through this creative journey. Let me not bore you once again with my face. Let me know in the comment section. Do you prefer the clean look or the faded look that the smoke adds? I can't seem to decide. I love them both. See ya.